To you, Chair Bill Cox, we should be live and good to go.
Great, thank you. So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our first Sustainability Committee of 2026 meeting. Skipped the word already. I'd like to call the meeting to order at probably 1:04 p.m. First, I'll do the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the township of Calamonigan is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory and the traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe. We offer our gratitude to First Nations for their care for and teachings about these lands. May we honor these teachings. And then moving on to item 3, looking for a motion for the approval of the agenda. With a movement and seconder. Lisa, Mike, all in favor? Carried. Does anyone have any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. And then moving to item 5, looking for a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting, which was held on September 25th, 2025. Mary's moving that, thank you. That seconder.
Sure.
Brian, thank you. And then all in favor? Perfect. And then moving right into general business. Item 6.1, our work plan. The exciting part, we're kind of starting from scratch today. Well, not from scratch, but the new year, new budget, new programs. So I didn't know, Kyle, if you wanted, Kyle, if you guys had any updates you wanted to get into or share with us before we just launch into the planning session.
Yeah, a couple really preliminary things. We've had lots of discussion this week with Boulevard Gardens. So I do want to reach out to a couple of the other places that have done it very Innisfil, because there's, I think everybody kind of in general supports it. It's how we like roll it out.
Yeah.
Is it policy? Is it guidelines? Does it go to council? Where just the details around it. So I think everybody kind of gets it. Talk to Public Works, is comfortable with it. Talk to clerks a bit. Kind of thinking rolling it out as a pilot program to make sure it's going well and we don't end up with any issues down the road of not being maintained, stuff like that. So a couple little things I just wanted to talk to Barry to see now that they're Barry in Innisfil. Where's the other?
Yeah, right in this bill, and then I think Guelph maybe.
In Guelph, yeah.
or
To
one
see
of them.
now that they've had it for a while, have they had any issues, problem standards, change of ownership,
Complaints.
a bunch of things where we saw, for the most part, these are people who are wanting to do gardens and assume they're going to be maintained. Just a question of when do we get like more property changing hands, what do you get left with, and have they had issues with snow ruining them, that type of stuff. So I do want to get that moving so it's ready for the spring.
Okay.
But just some details to sort of,
I'm happy to hear that there's support.
Yeah. Ember just reached out. There's a bunch of grants that we're looking into. One of them, we really want to get moving on the term energy plan renewal. So obviously there'll be a staff level, but we're bringing that this year as we move forward with that. We do have some quotes from Melatico again about them doing it for us. Pretty good prices. A lot of the grants that are right there might cover the whole thing. So
that was fun. As one of my notes, you literally just said it like word for word.
Yeah.
With Eldaco and
perfect. Yeah. So we're hopeful that that'll move forward. I have a note. Oh, and I have taken Bridget's place on the county committee. So we just had a meeting yesterday, our first one. Couple things that I'm just going to share. I'll send an email around with like what they're doing for the expo and all that type of stuff. I just kind of relayed to them what programs we were rolling out this year, what we did last year. I told them the highs and the lows of the tree program and Earth Day and all that. Most of them were there. So and they spoke very highly of
good.
Earth Day. They really liked it. So for children's on that committee, they spoke very highly of it too. So a couple initial things anyhow for the year.
So they have an expo, like an expo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
When is that?
It is in May.
Okay.
It's usually up in Selma.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I think it's in the city this time.
Oh, like what's it called now? Used to be the Everett and Healthy Planet.
Yeah, I think so.
So.
I'll flip it around. Yeah, they were talking about where they're going to go and invited us to attend, have a table there if we want, so we could talk about that. So, yeah, that's about it.
All positive. Awesome. Does anyone have anything you want to ask or add?
Which topic are we on? Sorry.
So I thought we would just, I mean, any questions or feedback on, I guess, Kyle's update, and then I just thought we would just kind of start from the talking about our programs, just go through them one by one, brainstorm, and then just have a preliminary conversation about Earth Day, and get that planning started.
Can I ask what these grants you're talking about, what are they for?
So Enbridge rules, so there's one that's just a blanket $10,000 as long as it goes towards a energy program. They're all energy related. One is for if you have a long-term energy plan, renewing it, doing a new one. And then one is for retrofit buildings. So basically there's two. There's one general that you get for anything, and the other one, there's three programs, and you can only pick one for what you want to go towards. Retrofit, long-term energy plan, there's a third one there. So they're all energy related because it's Enbridge, but we've done just one more quick update, probably not the right spot, but Chris and I have been working on a big retrofit at the old Millbrook School.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of energy upgrades there too. We're upgrading the insulation up in the attic. We've replaced and installed quite a few heat pumps in that place. Flooring and a bunch of other stuff that really don't pertain to this committee, but
I actually
yeah, doors,
saw
windows, yeah.
mistakenly the initial portion of the Heritage Committee,
Hmm.
and you guys were assessing lights.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm on the wrong committee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah, the bulb
Yeah.
portion, yeah. It's for the thing.
That's great that you guys are putting heat pumps in those buildings.
It'd be interesting to see kind of the KPIs afterwards, right? Like, prior to all this renovation, it's costing X to run, and now it's Y.
Yeah, we're gonna
Will that,
monitor that and see, hopefully,
will that come out in the next energy demand management plan iteration? Like, cause there was the target to reduce by 30% based on 2011 levels, and then this would contribute to that. So,
yeah, typically there's the portion where you kind of say what you've done and what your plans are to get there, so not sure how, because it's already complete, and then we're starting the renewal, how that will unfold, but it'll definitely be in there for sure.
You'll see the energy savings though, you, maybe not this year, but probably next year when you do your rerun the, whatever Aldelco set you guys up with to update all your energy use.
Yeah, and we do that every year,
Yeah,
yes.
so you'll probably see that for that building.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay, great. So I think what I had in mind, just to get through this initial meeting, was we would just kind of talk about each program that we put forth to council. It looks like our budget, I know it's not going to be officially approved until Tuesday, but it looks like the 15 that we asked for is still in there. So I thought we would just move forward, assuming that we're going to get the full 15. And then we can talk about each program. So we put in for our tree program, we put in for our rain barrel program, we put in for our pollinator packs. And then as well, the Boulevard Garden, which you just provided an update on, and then Earth Day, which is where kind of all of those kind of come together. So I thought if you guys are in agreement, we could just kind of dive in, start talking about the programs, what we need to do for each one to get them started. And then we can spend some time talking about Earth Day and, figure out what we want to do, like what day we want to have it on. Like, I think there's a few things that we need to solidify sooner, rather than later, so we can get out some save a date emails to our vendors.
My only question is, the 10,000 that's in the first line, is that really part of 6 and 7, or is it?
I crossed that out, actually.
To Deputy Mayor Huntley through the chair. So I haven't updated the new budget allotments. These are still the 2025 ones until it's technically approved by council. Sorry, it's just a procedural one. Once the budget does get approved, I'll also create a specific box for the programs. Like, we don't have some of the new programs like the Boulevard Garden and the pollinator boxes in there. So you'll have individual items.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit more helpful if we had those programs, maybe put, draft or tentative or something, just. But anyway,
That's something to
we are,
Thank you.
we are where we are.
Yeah. So let's start, so not to say we're gonna ignore the work plan, but I just thought.
No, I understand.
We're not gonna ignore the work plan, but just not go in order of the work plan. So I just thought we would start with the tree programs as kind of like our program that I think we probably have the most feedback we want to share and, brainstorm around how we can, I think in general, the program last year was fantastic. We got a lot of trees in the ground. The community was really appreciative of it. But I think just this year, we'll just look at our lessons learned and, you know, how can we simplify the ordering process? How can we make sure we don't have leftover trees? And also like, how can we kind of allow people who perhaps can't really make it to Earth Day to order, but ensure that they pay? Because I think that was part of the problem last year is people emailed, they wanted to purchase, but then they didn't actually come pick up.
Yeah, that was the problem. I think even if we only change that, obviously we're gonna change a
Yeah.
few things, that would make things
Yeah.
way easier. It was, and we just didn't foresee it,
Yeah.
the numbers in that lineup we had at Earth Day, but it was the
Yeah.
people who ordered and never
Yeah.
showed up.
Yeah, and I mean, I, like, from a resident perspective, I appreciate that, like, I know, we understand what you guys were trying to do in the sense that if you can't make it to Earth Day, you still want the program to be accessible to everybody. But I do think the key there is making sure people pay, so when they order, they gotta pay,
Mhm.
so it's not, you know, we're not, I think, impacting our budget or taking away from other things that we could do with that money.
Mhm.
I had a few ideas that I just thought I would toss out there for you guys to kind of ponder, because I was thinking, these are really, this is kind of more operational, but just to kind of address the ordering component and in the big lineup we had at Earth Day, like, what about meeting with Bridget and coming up kind of just like with like one order form, so people just come into the, they can either come to the township office, or then they, when they come to Earth Day, they can just have a form and they can just write on the form what they want, like they want 3 trees, they want 2 rain barrels, they want like 3 pollinator pots, and then they can do their circle around to the tables to say if they want to, hopefully Pine Needle Farms can attend, and if they have questions about trees, they can ask their questions about trees. If they have questions about pollinator pots, they can ask Christina. And then they can come to our township table and just hand them the form, give us the money. And then we don't have to worry about entering orders like right on site like we did last year. And then, I don't know, that's just like an idea, because I think a lot of people had feedback like, oh, you should have it on your website so we can order digitally, or, you know, and I just like, I think that's a great idea, but just not feasible,
Mhm.
like to do that type of customization. So that was really, I think that's the feedback that I heard the most, was people not wanting to wait in line, people not really having the opportunity to ask someone for advice. Like I know Amanda you were super helpful last year during Earth
Did my
Day.
best, but I was surprised. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was surprised at how many people wanted details
Yeah.
on the trees. I should have foreseen that.
Yeah. Well,
But it would be great to have Pine Needle there and they can
Yeah.
get their information before being in line to order.
and I think we also had intentions, like certainly, I know we had talked about it with Bridget about having some printed posters or some information sheets on site.
Mhm.
But I think the ice storm really like, and if you guys with all of that and.
I think that people would still want to ask the
Yeah.
questions. They like to hear it from
Yeah.
a person.
Yeah, I play hockey with Paul, the owner of Pine Needle.
Mm.
Okay.
He'll be there.
Okay, good.
Good. That's great.
Good. And so I think just, you know, making a couple of little modifications just based on what we learned last year would, I think, really help both people understand what they're purchasing, and then also making sure that they have a like ease of process to like come in, they don't have to wait in line for an hour. They pay, and then it's easier on our end too, so we're not trying to, because like poor Bridget was just like typing for 2.5 hours nonstop. Which is kind of an onerous thing to do, like right at the.
So would they pick up an order form on the way in? Like we might have a table with a bunch of forms and then they can walk around, ask their
Yeah.
questions, think about what they
Yeah.
want, have the form filled out, including amounts. And then when they go to pay, we can just quickly make sure the total is correct. And then how do we actually receive payment quickly?
Well, I would say we'd have to take the cash, or I
Yeah.
don't know if I think you did mention that we set up to pay via.
They were coming in paying at the desk by the end of it, yeah.
So I don't know if they can do that at the CNCC or. Like.
Yeah,
We'd have to set it up
So,
through your.
yeah, so we got a new booking software. I was just sending a message to see if we could actually do it, set the trees up through our booking software, and then you could purchase online, because it's gonna be, you can purchase your ice online
Oh.
through it, so. I'll see if it
Yeah,
gets back to me
okay.
now, but it's.
Yeah,
we could
so it's an
look
option
into
for
it,
sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the thing that held up the line the most last year was questions.
Mhm.
And also us trying to record like all their
Mhm,
information.
yeah,
So if we just get a piece
definitely.
of paper with their name, their phone
Yeah.
number, their address, what they
Mhm.
want, then it's just,
It'd be a
okay,
lot
you want
faster.
like 2 trees and a rain barrel, so. what's that gonna be, like $80?
Mhm.
And then we can have a couple of us making change and then,
Mhm.
we can base our order off of what's actually ordered.
Right,
So, and so instead of having, pine needle, like, last year, then they gave us a quotation and we had set number of certain trees, then we ended up, I think, ordering more anyhow.
Mhm.
But I'm wondering if it would be more practical to just order what we actually,
What we get, if we,
Yeah.
if the timing works, so yeah. It might work.
The other thing too is where the order line is, because last year what I noticed was that line
Yeah.
snaked outside, and
Mhm.
people didn't just
Come in.
walk in.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
do the actual,
yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
that's my next question for Chris is what is what's the likelihood or the feasibility of us holding this on the actual ice surface? I guess it's not ice,
So it
Correct.
would depend on the day.
okay, if we do it on a Saturday,
Saturday,
Afternoon.
we would probably be open on a Saturday afternoon,
Okay.
so right now, like Balaki is booked.
Yeah.
April till the end of June.
Okay.
Monday, to Friday,
Okay.
nights, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
because I think, that was, I think the feedback from council was to like, look at, like, try to have it on the weekend instead of an evening.
It's like council's feedback.
Well,
And,
it's- it's
On a
feedback.
Saturday or Sunday was,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's adapted.
Yeah.
And I did hear that from a couple people, not a lot of people, but a couple people,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that it would be easier for them to attend on a Saturday afternoon. So what do you guys think about that? Like, from a resident perspective, like, do you think that would make more sense?
It
Have it on?
depends on the family. I mean,
Yeah.
families with kids are pretty busy on Saturdays, but just depends, right?
Yeah,
Like I'm busy on Saturdays till 2:30 or 3 o'clock every Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's
Yeah,
both ways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of people coming home from work,
Yeah.
if you're commuting,
yeah,
you're not even home. And then got pick up your kids from daycare and then,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's no.
for me, when it was.
there's no good, yeah, there's no
good
perfect
time.
I mean, I
time.
think the only thing we can do is try it,
Yeah,
if we wanna try it on a week, like, is that reasonable for you guys, if you?
Oh, yeah, yep.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, like a weekend would be better if we wanna utilize the floor, bigger
Yeah.
space, if it's a weekday, we're gonna be.
Yeah.
We'll be stuck with the hall and
Yeah.
lobby sort of area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the weekend, so Easter falls early this year, I think it's early April, and Earth Day falls on Wednesday, April 22nd, so our options are either to have it the preceding Saturday or the following Saturday. Do we wanna make that decision now, and then,
Let's say we can shoot for that, yeah.
yeah, and
So-
then we can get out our save the dates. I feel like I'm planning a wedding, but I can't put our save the dates for Earth Day, just so people can get it on the calendar.
Yeah, if we
Um,
have a date and a time, and we can check, to make sure,
Yeah.
double check, to make sure it's
Yeah.
not booked out, right? Cause there is a couple ball hockey tournament weekends, but.
I mean, if you look at April 22nd, right,
Yeah.
so after. Might be a little bit warmer and people thinking more about boulevard gardens and things
Mhm.
like that
Yeah.
than before, just judging on how the winter's going so far, I don't know if that will hold. but-
Yeah, we might be still shoveling.
We always-
Yeah, let's hope not. Okay, so we can say, let's say either, so. 23rd, so I think it's April 25th is the Saturday, 25th, no, I can count. And then, the Saturday prior to that would be the 18th, right?
Yep.
Okay. So. And is that something, Chris, you could get back to us on?
I'm actually trying to right now.
Perfect.
Real-time update.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I think for the trees, and then one other, point on the trees that I wanted to toss out is. Do we want to take any species off the list that we had last year? Cause I know some of them were less in demand, like I think what would you say?
Well, the weird thing was what was the red?
red buds,
The red buds.
everybody loved. the
That's
red
what everybody
buds,
wanted at
yeah.
first. By the end, it was, I had red buds left over. I
Yeah,
was like, do you want a red bud? And people were like, no, I want a maple, and everything else it was like literally the last one I had.
Really?
Yeah, so I would say like the pines didn't do well. The spruce were, and again, we had different quantities, so I
Yeah.
don't know. The maples weren't huge.
I was wondering,
We sold a lot of trees. What was big?
the red, well,
Yeah, the oaks went fast, that's, what's that?
The sycamore?
Yeah.
The tulip?
Sycamore, all went, it was everything else.
Everybody wanted.
Yeah, the tulips, sorry, yeah,
Tulip
right, yeah,
tree.
that went pretty fast.
That tulip trees.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
The birch tree, what birch tree did they give us a river birch?
Yeah,
What do you think about doing a paper birch
sure.
instead of a river birch?
Yeah, they don't need as much moisture.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just thinking of, again, like, I mean, my trees all did fine. I planted them. Well, in June when we got them, and then a couple more after, because I got a couple more, from the leftovers, and I didn't have any issues with the drought, but I know a few people expressed concern about the watering needs. So.
They had rain barrels.
That's what I used to do, like the rain barrel, my one rain barrel got me through the drought, no problem, like my trees, my flowers. So, I definitely think the rain barrel, yeah, to your point, is something that, certainly goes hand in hand with the trees. But, yeah, do you think Pine Needle would be open to that instead of giving us a quote upfront? Like, we could say we want, I think, our budget kind of accounts for like about 650 trees this year, what we asked for. So I'm wondering if they would be agreeable to just give us a quote for trees, but then with the caveat that we'll come back and place like a.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, yeah, yeah, as long as the timing works, if we order it by X date for when they need to know, it'll be. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, anything else on trees?
A couple comments. And one being with the online one, you kind of don't want it online because you want the foot traffic, right? You know, so if you do online, maybe it's an after the fact, you know, versus before the fact. Just,
Yeah.
obviously you're trying to
Yeah.
get foot traffic.
Yeah.
Second, as far as the information piece of it goes, I mean, maybe, I don't know how you guys did last year, but maybe like having like, you know, poster boards on each of the species with, you know, detailing, you know, care, feeding and what to expect kind of stuff. Then might take a little bit of the pressure off and then,
Yeah.
you know, answer more specific questions versus the generic ones.
When we announced the program too, I mean, people could go to Pine Needle site and they actually give some information.
People
as
don't.
well. I know.
Last year, Pine Needle was supposed to show up with all that information.
Right.
They didn't show up, so they actually said back then they were going to sponsor it this year, so. We'll remind them.
Yes.
Just if you have them in the boards, remind them.
And we're sponsoring.
Yeah, I think that's just, you know, easy enough, like to have there. And then the third one was like the program was so successful that Orcas actually changed theirs this year.
Really?
Because the Orcas was always, you know, you had to buy in groups of 20 or 25. And they saw how successful our like 3-gallon pot ones were.
Yeah.
So now they're offering that.
Okay,
So you guys, trendsetters.
yeah,
Nice one.
it's just, you know, a day in the life of us.
It just makes sense for smaller property owners.
Exactly.
The bundles make sense for people who
With
own.
larger property. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
what they kind of came to the exact same conclusion.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think for trees, just to recap, so we're gonna, and I think, would we want to schedule like a planning meeting with Bridget kind of later on, or like to actually action some of these things, like the poster boards and the ordering forms and.
Yeah.
Or someone else on your team? I don't know.
Oh, Bridge would do for sure, yeah, it might be as simple as emailing the information, just going through that, or we can do a meeting too.
Then we got the crayons and the glue and away we go.
Yeah.
Looks like this.
And then I just put down Kyle Phillips to do a Pine Needle check-in. Post boards, and then just looking at replacing different species. And then, yeah, I think that's it for trees. Anybody else?
We just really need to make sure that everybody knows the limit, if there is a limit.
Yes.
Be really clear about that and clear about how much they are and that they need to bring cash if that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like we need to repeat it over and over and over again in every communication. Yeah.
I think the tree, so we're
Or
gonna.
if you have your system set up, then that. could-
Yeah,
we
that's
have
true.
this
We'll see.
set up, so he did get back and said, in theory, we can do it, but have to do a little bit more investigating.
Right.
So it could be like you can set up sort of like public skate, so there's no tax on it.
Okay.
And they would create an account
Yeah.
and the tree be on there, they'd get it, they'd have to pay for it right there.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Although I do agree with the point too, I want to try to get them to attend Earth Day, but I think it's really good to have a back, like an option for people who can't make it. And then it's not, so you're bombarded with emails.
Mhm.
I just completely lost my train of thought. What did you just, oh, yes.
Repeating the
Yeah, so
information
we're gonna see-
about limits and cash.
How appropriate. Repeat.
Yeah.
So trees we're gonna be selling for $15 this year, I think. That's what we put in our budget proposal.
Mhm.
And then, do we wanna have a limit? I think that's the question. I mean, so last year we put a limit of 5. That was really,
If we're pre or post, not post. Pre
I know
or
what you
post
mean,
order.
yeah,
If we're custom ordering,
yeah,
it removes that need for
Yeah.
limit. The limit was kind of like, we want everybody to have access to
Yeah.
a red bud or whatever.
yeah.
I think there should be some limit,
Like
because
maybe
otherwise
10.
people are gonna be buying for their parents and sisters
Yeah.
and whatever. And if they want a huge number of trees, they can go through the Conservation Authority and get
Mm.
bundles.
Mhm.
So it should be 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say 10's even probably pretty high.
it's a lot for us to manage.
Yeah, I mean, I think 5.
Cause you want everybody to have the opportunity.
If you're
is-
planting more than 5 trees, you probably could get a bundle and you're planting a large, I don't know.
No, I agree. I'm interested to hear everybody's feedback, because I know we heard a lot, well, I feel like we heard, or maybe it's just from the same person frequently, but a lot of feedback
That
about,
doesn't ever happen.
right? A lot of feedback, regarding the limitation of 5 trees, because for people.
There
who
was
have
enough.
More rural properties, they lost so many trees in the ice storm.
Yeah,
Although even on my little property, like I've planted 5 trees, I'm planning on planting 2 more. Like we were talking about that this week, like how
yeah, exactly.
load them up and.
Well, maybe it's a soft cap. So you say like recommendation of 5, and if somebody can make an argument for more than 5, then.
I don't know.
But
Everybody
say
likes
that
an argument.
my issue would be, if you're buying 10 or 15,
Mhm.
you're kind of assuming that a few of them aren't gonna make it. Right?
Maybe. I
So
think
you
people
can-
were really emotional about the ice storm last year. So assuming that we don't have something
Yeah.
similar happen this year, cross our fingers, the demand for more might be less.
True.
So,
I'm okay
Oh.
with 5, and I say that because we're gonna do the custom order. And we also spoke about if we don't use up our entire budget, we looked at selling them at the movie night at the end of the summer.
Hmm.
And so we could always say to people, depending on like program capacity and what we
Mhm.
sell, we may have an opportunity to purchase more at the end of the summer.
we can also refer to the Conservation Authority programs, but I think those are early.
Yeah, they've just opened up.
Yeah, I think they're,
If it's the same one that Oracle uses for,
Right.
yeah, it was April 2nd, I wanna say.
yeah, so
orders.
that's great timing. We'd
Yeah.
have to pre-recommend if you want lots, don't bank on us.
I mean, I'm fine with 5. I
Yeah,
was
the-
fine with 5 last year, but I'm also not stuck to it. If you guys have received different feedback, that would kind of necessitate something different.
Yeah, there's a couple things with the rain barrels and the trees where you kind of had a feeling the people were buying them to sell
Yeah,
elsewhere, so
agreed.
that would
Okay,
stifle that.
I
yeah.
think, you know what, let's stick with what we did last year. We'll say maximum 5.
Per person or per household.
We did say per household. Some people were buying them, like their neighbors were coming in and buying them and they're telling us at pickup, yeah, I'm just getting these from my neighbor because they need it.
Mhm.
It's gonna happen, but I think just as to make it as fair as we can, set the limit to 5 and then,
No system's perfect.
yeah, exactly. And if we have budget money left over, we can look at doing another rollout,
Later on.
later on.
Yeah.
Okay,
And if we get the same feedback again about the limit being too low, we can consider for next
Yeah.
year.
okay, going once, twice, 3 times on trees.
Mhm.
Okay, we're moving on. Rain barrels, I think this is kind of our easiest, not easiest, but, it's only one product. We got the guy, we got him really reliable. Do you know if his price is staying the same this year?
They haven't told me otherwise, so
Okay.
I assume so.
Okay, and I think we're,
Check them.
yeah.
My only question with the rain barrels is like, at what point have we kind of saturated the market on them?
When people stop buying
Like
them.
we've sold a lot.
We sold like, I think 160, or that was kind of my last count. But I think too, people, when they install one, they want another
Mhm.
one. Like I have mine and I'm thinking, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna see how this goes. And I want to do another one for my property.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we have 3 at our house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I break mine too,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Is
I break mine too a lot.
Oh, do you? Do you let them freeze or how do you break them?
No, like just remove it. Kids.
Stomping on them.
Cause I take them off, I put the dance boot back on for the winter, when
Yeah.
I put them in the garage, stuff happens in the garage. I put
Right.
Quite a few.
But I think, I can't remember now off the top of my head how many we asked for. I know we were selling them for 50, so I think, I can't remember, we'll have to go and look, but I think it is a low, we did plan budget for a lower number. Like a lower number of units this year. And then I think we had a maximum of 2 per person or per household. And I'm assuming we'll keep that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it resolves one issue.
And,
Do we remember how many we were planning on? Sorry. Let me back up to it.
I'm unprepared today. I didn't bring my iPad because my eyes are,
Mark knows everything.
yeah. Are you like frantically looking?
I do have it. I'm trying to avoid opening anything else on my screen, that's why. If the committee doesn't mind, I'll go back to my notes from the previous meeting and I'll follow up with the committee afterwards. And I can give the numbers for the trees and anything else. in the budget.
We had 3,000 for the Lengo program, so.
I think it's in your budget presentation, which I can pull up.
It
on
is in my
phone.
budget presentation, yeah.
So they 300?
No, I don't think it was that many. I think I asked for $3,500 and I think we were, so it was gonna be.
I have your budget presentations just loading on my cell phone.
Okay.
Stop guessing.
Yeah, so but,
Just tell us.
yeah, so we'll do, I'm just gonna make a note, like 2 max, and then, the only thing is, do you guys wanna do, I'm thinking we should just be consistent and just not do any pre-ordering for rain barrels, and, cause they come as a kit, like he
Yeah.
usually gets them within a week to you, right? Like
Yeah.
a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
You guys have 100 barrels per purchase, $80 per barrel, sell for 50 for $1 rebate, 3,000 total.
Okay, so we're doing 100 barrels. Okay, so I was thinking, my question to the committee is, do we want to take the same position on rain barrels? We don't order in advance, we just order a bulk order after Earth Day.
Like day of kind of thing.
Yeah, we can have them available, like
But I
last
was
time.
thinking, yeah, we did have them, okay.
Yeah, we were coming up
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
like picking them up there, so not a big deal. We got
Yeah.
room that I store them in, so we could do 1550.
Yeah. Okay. And we will, I think to Amanda's point is, again, really communicate, like, there are only limited quantities. $50, limit 2 per person.
Mhm.
And then, but I do feel like that's something else the committee could kind of determine at our summer meeting, like based on what budget's looking like and what demand is looking like, if we want to order more or not.
Mhm.
If you guys are okay with that.
That'd be awesome. We can make money off.
Well, to make money off, we have to sell them for like,
Yep.
80 plus.
No, doesn't make sense. That's not the point.
Exactly. Anyone have anything else on rain barrels before we move on?
No, all good.
Next program, let's talk about the pollinator.
Actually,
Yeah.
sorry, back to the rainbow. Crossed my mind last year.
Mhm.
We don't brand them at all.
I know,
Like,
we talked about getting a sticker, but then we thought, is that wasteful? We don't know. I mean, I would like to brand them,
yeah,
because I feel like I want people to know that the municipality is,
I was thinking
Out there.
that too, right? And I walked by a recycling bin actually that had like,
yeah,
kind of like it was City of the Kawartha Lakes
Yeah.
recycling bins on it. Like, how hard would it be to put a little vinyl strip on it or something?
Sticker strip or actually put it into like a recycling bin where it's on there or like a.
I don't know how it's manufactured. Like, I don't know whether it's just vinyl that's kind of heat attached or it's a sticker that goes on and you peel it off, but I think that we should really own these things.
I agree,
Right, they do, yeah.
And put our,
yeah. No,
we
I
might
agree
add
with
a little bit of, maybe we sacrifice a barrel for stickers or something like that, but.
Well, I think we have,
Cause then we can also, like, if people are taking them out elsewhere.
yeah.
All right.
We're gonna take it back
All right.
within the boundaries.
Anybody on Facebook Marketplace, but then.
Exactly. right.
I
I mean, not that they can't deal with stickers. I'm sure.
Technically.
With the,
You could move.
I think
That's
yes.
true.
Good.
Stay open minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like. Want to make sure it's in. Yeah, I think we need to stick something on.
Oh, yeah.
Great. And we do have,
Stencil made.
a little bit of.
Even spray paint.
Spray paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be good after, well,
Yeah.
I'll check with Bridget and Brand.
I like that. And I think, instead of, if it is a, cost prohibitive, we put money in the Earth Day budget for like communications, advertising, all of that. So that's something to keep in
Well,
mind
a
too.
couple cans of spray paint, we just ordered 99
Yeah.
barrels instead.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would, let us know what happened, like what they split the options are for Brandy. I'm curious if, the BRT is able to, like, if they brand anything, because they do sell to Green Up and City of Peterborough, so I'm wondering if they put their branding on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check with them first and I'll check with Rich.
Okay, so rain barrels, just to recap, we're gonna have a limit of 2, they're selling for $50. We're doing 100, we're gonna order 50 in advance, and then order whatever else comes in through ordering on Earth Day. And we're going to look at branding, and then Kyle will reach out to BRT about pricing to see what their pricing is for this year. All right.
Nice.
Okay, so moving on to the pollinator packs. So I think we, again, put, I think $66,000 for pollinator packs, and they were going to, they're $80 for us to purchase. We're going to do 150 of them and sell them for $40. And we would, my memory's kicking in now.
Well done.
Thank you. And I think the only thing that, like a few things that we need to work out with Christina Rennick, who's the provider of this, is I know her price included educational material. So with each pack, she was going to include, I'm not sure if it's a flyer or some sort of a pamphlet, but information on each plant that's being included, how to care for it, where to plant it. They're being packed as like sun, shade, or boulevard if we get the boulevard program in place. So those plants would be specific for living on a boulevard. And they're being sourced from Grow Wild in Omini, so thanks for that tip, Mary. And that the cost also includes like packaging, delivery, and then handing them out like on pickup day, and also providing support at Earth Day for ordering. So I think a few things that we need to kind of clarify on is like need to formally reach out to her to get a quotation. And then B, how we want to handle the sales. She'll be at Earth Day. Do we want her to manage the sales for us? Or do we want to kind of stick with our ordering form idea we spoke about? So people can go visit her booth, ask about the plants, kind of figure out what they want, mark it on their order form, and we handle the money. Because that was the question that Christina asked me when I was pulling together the budget presentation, and we spoke about what was included in the packages was the actual like rollout, like are people gonna buy them from her and get a rebate, or do they buy them from the township? And then like we do with the trees and the rain barrels, she invoices you guys.
Option 2.
Yeah.
It's too weird to have 2 separate ways of ordering
I think
things
so, too.
within the same
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little better for on our end.
Yeah.
Then we have the form of each person who bought, whereas if she just had, here's the
Yeah.
total, here's what you owe me,
Yeah.
we don't really have for the
Yeah.
auditors, we don't really have a
Yeah.
tracking.
I kind of like the consumers distributing methodology that you guys are describing, right? Like, yeah. But please, go
Yeah.
visit all the booths, but,
Yeah.
mark down your order after visiting everybody, then hand in your sheet at the
Yeah.
end.
People circulating in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have.
And answering questions. We have
Yeah.
questions answered
Yeah.
first before they
Exactly.
show up.
And then we kind of disperse people, right? So it's not like a big lineup. It's like they come in and they gotta go and find pine needle, or they gotta go and find where the maintenance table is. I'm assuming the rain barrels will just manage like we did last year.
I'm wondering too, if we are, depending on where we are, but it would be helpful to have a greeter table to kind of say, what are you interested in?
Yeah.
Go talk to Pine Needle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because people kind of last year seemed
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of.
yeah, yeah, I agree. And I think last year we were, excuse me, we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And it was, we're like, let's just do it and
That's great.
see what happens. I was blown away by the lineup,
Yeah.
like I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
So I think this year helping, like having it in a larger space, then it would just help people come in and then maybe if we can spread the tables out, so we have Pine Needle somewhere
Mhm.
different, we have Christina somewhere different, our table somewhere different.
Yeah.
And they go around and ask their questions, and then, when Earth Day's done, we place the orders.
I think too, having some sort of, just as you come in, whichever
Yeah.
spot we have it, you know,
I
like,
agree.
I'm happy to volunteer too, to be just a greeter, to say, oh, you know.
Yeah, help direct people.
Because.
Yeah,
Really nice to get Bridge to work on a nice card. That has like all the people who are at Earth Day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I just had a random thought, it was a joke at first, but if they got a stamp from each of the people that they visit the booth.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, they give their card and they buy whatever, maybe we enter one into a draw to win a free rain barrel
Yeah.
or something, gets the people in, gets the movement, they see everybody.
Trade show passport.
Trade show passport, yeah.
Earth Day is sport.
Earth Day
Yeah.
passport.
You can put a little map on it also.
Mhm.
If things are fixed.
Yeah, we'll
Mhm.
have, we'd have to, I'm just thinking like, yeah, we'll have to really get our little planning hats on to get that, because I don't even think, I think it was like the week before we finished our floor plan last year.
For enough, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but that's okay,
Yeah.
once we know who's coming, then we'll just get an earlier start this year. Like next week, I'll call you guys every day.
I think that the order form itself should also have, in the tree section, it could have, go talk to Pine Needle if you
Yeah.
have questions, because otherwise people are
Yeah,
gonna vaguely be aware
Yeah.
that Pine Needle's there and there's tree stuff happening,
Yeah.
but they'll still ask us questions.
so maybe the
if
order
you-
form is the passport.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
that could be a
everybody-
combo for
All
sure.
on there.
Yeah.
Then you can take that and literally draw one, then you can have a contest.
Hmm.
I love the idea of having a draw.
If you can get this working on your system, you can have multiple pay stations as well, so it's not all bottlenecked at the end.
Yeah,
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
so I did get date back, so we can do April 18th, but the 25th, there's all day ball hockey tournament up there.
Okay.
So if
So I
it
guess
does the
that-
18th, look it off.
What do we think? 18?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we have the availability of the
Yeah.
larger space.
So then you got the whole
Yeah.
building really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
surface and,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to decide that today, because then we can
Mhm.
start.
I think it's decided for us.
Yeah. Then we can have, because it's indoors, we can
Yeah.
have a lot more
Yeah.
product down there instead. of-
Yeah, you're not gonna have any bottlenecking,
No.
people are gonna come in and head onto the ice surface and then.
Yeah.
Can we bring Carter in there? Like, perfect, that'll make Robert happy.
Yeah.
We had yeah.
It's my son's birthday. I probably won't be
Oh.
able to come, but, well, I might be able to come to stop in, but maybe not like actually help for hours.
That's okay.
The 25th was my wife's.
The 25th is my daughter's. Neither day was gonna be
Oh,
good for
jeez.
me. Yeah.
Stupid weekends.
Stupid
Yeah.
birthdays.
Okay, so let's, so Earth Day is gonna officially be April 18th.
Then maybe just a general timeline, just to.
What do you-
put it off in the system.
So how about, can we book it? I was thinking, what do you guys think about, I don't know if this is too big of a window, but doing it from 12 to 4. Do you think that's too long? About time?
No,
No?
gives people lots of time to.
Yeah, because last year we were there
Yeah.
for almost
Yeah.
3 hours, because people came early.
Yeah.
And then they didn't clear out.
And it doesn't mean that everyone has to necessarily be there.
Yeah.
All these, us, you guys, because I can't be, but,
Yeah.
you know, you can do shifts and
Yeah.
4 hours is too long.
Okay, and then could we maybe book it from, like, we can start setup at 10?
Oh, yeah, we'll
Okay.
do some setup time.
Okay,
So we'll do,
So-
maybe we'll do like a 10 to 6, we'll book it off and then we got time for setup and takedown.
great. Okay, so we kind of just launched right into our Earth Day planning, but before we see if we have anything else on the actual day event, does anyone have anything on the pollinator packs? Anything you want
I
to
love it.
discuss? for that?
Yeah, I just have one thing, which is sort of a combo with the day, is, if there's, we talked a little bit briefly, about getting maybe, you know, a speaker in, if we have the extra space,
Yeah.
you could have workshops
Yeah.
in the community room.
Great. But do you have anything on the pollinator packs?
No, just that if we were going to do kind of a workshop or speaker, you have Christina or
Yeah.
somebody do a
Yeah,
workshop on.
yeah. I asked Christina if she'd be willing to do that, and she said she would. She has kind of 3 workshops that she's planning on just rolling out in the community.
Right.
So I can get her to send a description of them, and maybe we can decide as a committee what we'd like her to talk about.
You talked about there being something for kids, a kids activity. Could the workshop also be like a kid thing? Like
Yeah,
how to plant something?
I like the idea of, and it doesn't have to be costly, but doing a seed planting for kids. So it's early enough in the year, it's in April, they can plant them, keep them inside, and then
Totally.
care for them.
If we could all walk away with a sunflower. Pretty easy.
Honeybees
Yes.
that farm there,
Yeah.
they do a junior
I
pollinator
know.
thing, and it's right around the
Did I
time, so that might be, no, my
It's so,
son might
What
be
is
there.
it?
well, because it's something I wrote down,
Oh.
about have inviting.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's something like this.
Nice.
I'd like to invite honeybees to
Great.
have a booth. So that's kind of 2 things, is because they do have their junior beekeeper program, and they do also have like bee tours where they kind of teach people about bees. And the only question that kind of came to my mind when I was thinking about inviting them is, can we allow them to sell their honey on the day of? Like, can they bring their products?
Yeah, the issue.
That's, we'll have to follow up on
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
that's- Yeah.
And I don't know what,
But I think just from a resident perspective, like if they're there, they would want to buy some honey,
Mhm.
you know? And
And we're selling things, so.
yeah, we're.
Yeah, we'll
selling
follow up.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
just,
Yeah, there's some nuance.
Insurance pieces.
yeah.
But I would really like to invite them. And I would also like to invite, the guy from Woodley Farms, which it sounds terrible, I'm saying the guy, because I can't.
Norm.
Because I just think he's doing so many cool things.
Yeah,
and-
me and Bruce were talking the other day about who would come, that's the first person we found.
Yeah.
I actually took your book, I was reading your book. this morning.
Oh,
I agree with you, the Woodley Farm, that's a great
Yeah.
idea. The
Yeah.
other thing is, if there's someone who talk about composting, I know we have a composting program in terms of picking
Yeah.
up stuff, but
So Norm does.
Does
that's
he
what we
do?
take
Well,
our
that would be
yeah,
good
so
then.
that's his thing,
Yeah.
that's with his biochar and all that goes
Yeah.
into the compost,
Yeah.
so he would be a good compost guy.
Yeah.
So just 4 hours you have?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
This is getting elaborate.
But I think the expo that they have
Oh,
is only for
good.
4 hours too, right? Like, or maybe it's longer.
They told me what-
It's all-
I think it's all days.
Sure.
No.
Yeah, okay, so I think now we should just, I think, open it up, since we're already brainstorming about who we want to invite. Like, I'm thinking everybody that we had last year, so, Orca, and
Fair
then,
Cafe for sure.
yeah, and then, Farms at Work. Yeah, you guys are gonna represent, you gonna be okay? Repair Cafe.
Mm.
Yeah, I think, a Saturday, I'll have to check with them, because they get busy, like Saturdays is generally their, day that they hold their Repair Cafe, session, so I'll reach out to her. Her name's Caitlin, sooner rather than later to get them booked, 'cause I think that they were really gung ho and ready to go, just that they didn't know, like, a lot of people kind of didn't know, but hopefully this year more people will come in. But they were really sweet, and they helped the scouts, like the scouts came in, I thought
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
really
neat,
nice,
yeah.
yeah. And then Steve from Clean Up
Steve, yeah,
Peterborough.
yeah.
And then for our grandchildren and for the EV. And then what
Or the
about,
land trust was there last
Yeah.
year.
so,
Or a table was, I
I
completely
know.
ignored the table, but I'm not on staff there anymore, so.
so that's the
And
question,
see if,
do we wanna do Port, because like, are we part of Port the Land Trust, or? are
Yeah.
we-
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, so the reason it makes sense is because they have their partners in conservation program, which is where, you know, they
Yeah.
work with private landowners to
Yeah.
do more conservation.
okay,
So it would be that program that would
Okay.
be,
and do you mind reaching out? to
yeah,
them?
that's fine.
We do, I don't know, we probably don't need multiple constantly authorities, but we do have KRCA and Ganarask are both in our township too, I don't know if we wanna
Yeah,
reach out to see if they have different programs.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
They should be
I think
there.
Ganaraska for sure, because they have their education center,
Mhm.
and I'm sure they'd love to touted.
Yeah,
There's also ALUS, ALUS,
Yeah. Land use.
Alternative Land Use Services.
but the-
They're related to Kawartha Conservation. They're being hosted by Kawartha
Okay.
Conservation. Maybe they'd come together.
And then for the Conservation Authority, I was hoping that they would be agreeable to focusing on water, like how they, just because we had the drought last year, so I think there's a kind of like a lack of understanding within the community about how like our water comes from drilled wells, like well refresh, like how the water level is monitored, and the Conservation Authority does all of that. So I'm wondering like what your thoughts are, if you
Well,
think they would
just
be
ask them.
agreeable to,
For sure.
yeah,
Tell me what you like, I can talk to them.
yeah,
Like, because they do, their big thing right now is more, like watershed,
okay,
or not watershed, but,
Source water protection?
no,
Oh, no, sorry.
floodplain mapping.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get to,
Yeah.
is floodplain mapping, right?
yeah.
They have a pretty elaborate.
Which I think would
demos.
be really important too, to educate the community on, just because of the dynamics of
Mhm.
some of the property in the municipality.
But yeah, I mean, that's, as I said, they're kind of geared up for that right now, but if we want to focus it on water.
So I think it's
Good
something
luck
all,
with that.
because I've been on their website looking at it, and I just feel like that would be, as much as we can educate people on that, and that's part of when we go into the communication campaign, one of the things that I wanted to focus on this year for us as well, is how can we help people understand that that's the reality of the water situation. Not that it's bad, but I think just educate people on this is what it is, and these are the things that you need to watch for,
Mhm.
and the science behind how they determine water levels.
Yeah, for sure. I can totally reach out and do that.
And so I think that covers up everybody who attended last year. One entity who we didn't extend an invite to, and we had talked about it, was just simply because they didn't really have anything tangible for the community, was Baxter Creek Watershed Alliance. So I don't know, do we want to, what the committee's thoughts are on including them this year? I did have a look at what they're doing from a research perspective. And I think like what their big project was not in our municipality last year, was a mapping project. They do have other research that they've done, that we can invite them to come and share. Although I'm not sure if it fits within the context of like actionable, because like Earth Day is kind of like shaping up to be like a kind of like small, like small changes, big impact, or like actionable items. Or ways that we can educate people to make changes in their day to day. So I'm just, putting it out for the committee, like, do we want to extend the invite? But I do think we'd have to be very specific in terms of what we would want them to share.
I wonder, the only thing I can think of with that organization that I participated in, my husband, is the
Yeah, the frog.
frog survey in the spring,
Yeah,
which is the peeper and frog, different frog
yeah,
counts. And it's kind of interesting, and
It
it's
is,
something
yeah.
people and their kids might find fun.
yeah.
So I don't know if they're still doing it, if Craig,
But that time of year. right?
yeah, it's right around there.
So they did some rehabilitation of Jail Creek in 2025 for trout habitat,
Mhm. Well, I was gonna say trout.
and that's right around Fairfield.
Yeah. Freshwater Canada. That's what it's called now.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's called Freshwater Canada.
yeah.
Gave up on trout.
It's
Going
gonna,
bigger.
I'm not, yeah, they're going more national, but it's it's gonna take a long time for people to change what they call Trout Unlimited.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for correcting me.
Yeah,
So I'm open either way. I just think that we would have to be, specific, just because I just want to be considerate to the fact that some of they did their own watershed planning, and I don't want it to be confusing for residents to think like it's a township, or that is the thing.
Yeah.
And then they also did their Jail Hill water contamination study. I mean, that's all available on their website, but you also don't want to kind of like alarm people when they come in. They're like looking at all these.
It's kind of not the context.
Yeah. So I think that if we feel like there's, like certainly the frog monitoring or the rehabilitation, I think that would be interesting for people to see. I just think we'll have to be very specific that it needs to be like that limited scope and nothing else.
But
Seems reasonable,
Yeah.
but.
extend the invite
Yeah.
with the parameters.
Okay.
I think, fair enough.
Wondering about the farmers market, because they're leading into their season, they might want to come to promote local food, and also the Peterborough Food and Farming Alliance, which may partner with Farms at Work to bring some things in about local food systems and like.
So would you, like, are you thinking that they would set up a little market booth, or do you think you'd be more informational?
That it would be like, the season's coming, remember that we're there,
Yeah.
these are our hours and where you can find us, and.
So that's
to
not
get
the
people
farmer's
thinking.
market, but a representative of the farmer's
Don't they
market.
have a market manager?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they have a committee.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can reach out to them. Do you want to reach out to them? Yeah.
The alliance bill.
I think that's good. So just talking about reaching out last year, I sent the bulk of the emails. Is that, and I know Ryan, you sent a couple too, like inviting people. Is that okay if I still proceed with that, or do you want it to come from township staff?
I think you're good with that, yeah.
you're just identifying yourself as the chair of the sustainability committee, then it's perfectly fine.
And if I get any questions around insurance issues, because I did last year, I'll direct them to you, to Chris, okay?
Sure, it's good.
Perfect. And then, okay, so I think as far as Earth Day goes, so we talked about space, we talked about our vendors, we talked a little bit about the operational components, so like having our Earth Day passport, which I really like. Looking at different payment options, looking at having greeters. We have our date set for the 18th from 10 to 4 right now. I mean, sorry, from 12 to 4, but booking the space from 10 to 6.
Yep.
Looking at having kids activity. I think for right now, that's kind of like gives us enough guidelines to start, getting into some more intensive planning.
Early on center is pretty good about running kid activities too.
Are they?
Mhm.
The place we could reach out, I was thinking was the Land Between.
No.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
she's really good.
they've got all kinds of cool programs,
Yeah,
more centered to kids, some for adults, like nest watchers and all these backyard
So-
birds that you can monitor.
so it's called the Land Between.
Land Between, yeah, they got a bunch of different things, but they have like turtle guardians, so they'll come and bring a few turtles, different types of turtles and stuff.
Would
So
we have to pay them to come help?
I don't know, I can reach out and find out.
Are you, so?
I can't remember her name, but she's a fantastic speaker too.
Yeah.
Like she can do pretty good seminars and
Wow,
What is
learn
it?
something new.
Lorena, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something.
something like that,
yeah.
yeah.
That would be great, because I have to say, if you can entice people with their kids too, it's a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
because kids are
Yeah.
the bridge. to
Yeah.
Understanding things
Yeah.
going forward, and.
Loretta.
also
I love
just
that.
have
That's
good
probably.
Loretta.
No, you're
What
right. I
was her
think
name?
it's Lorena.
It's Lorena.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Larry.
Kyle will reach out to Land Between. That, okay, okay. And then we mentioned trout, Freshwater Canada. Are we, do we want to invite them?
Leora.
Leora, that's it.
Like, do we think there's any merit in having, like, would they come to our Earth Day event?
Just not to ask, I don't think.
Okay.
I mean, if we have the big
That's
space,
what-
like,
that's
we
right.
really have a big limit.
Yeah, you wanna kind of fill it,
Yeah.
because if you only have a few things, it's gonna.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look
That's
out
weird,
for it.
yeah.
We'll just stack a big pyramid of rain barrels wherever.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, we can always cut it in half or whatever we need, but yeah.
Okay, so I'll reach out to the vendors. With the exception of Land Between, I'll leave that for Kyle, and Amanda's gonna reach out to Fort Land Trust. They're gonna reach out to the farmers market. And then Farms at Work. And then,
Then I can reach out to conservation authorities.
perfect. And so will you do Ganaraska as well?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
reach out to Ganaraska.
And then I'll reach out to Woodley and Honeybees just to see if there's any interest, and then you guys will get back to me about selling their products.
Yeah, if we get into vendors, it's sort of a different ballgame.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can reach out to, like, I know Norm well, unless you do, I can reach.
No,
out.
I don't know
Yeah.
him well. I do know, Dave and Carrie from Honeybees, but I don't know, I mean, just Norm when he came to our last committee meeting, but if
Okay,
you want to
okay.
read it, that'd be
Yeah.
great. Do you have anybody you want to reach out to?
What about something like community care and or food share? That's,
Mhm.
and I know it's not exactly environmental, but it is reuse and recycling aspect.
I mean, community care does have their
So that's where I take like
store,
clothing,
yeah.
but like the food share especially.
Yeah.
Just.
I mean, I'm always happy to support the food share, like, I think, you know, they want to be there with a donation bin and, if we say, we could, same with our, Earth Day passport, like if you bring a donation to the food share, we could do one draw for like a tree.
Food donation, clothing donation.
We know food share well, we can reach, we
Yeah.
can contact your.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you want to handle clothing donations at the event, but.
Yeah,
It's people are gonna- You don't want to know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you never know.
yeah. I like the idea. I don't know. I'm just thinking I ran like a donation thing for,
Or maybe we just get, like one of the bins at the front door. So we're not handling it.
Like the clothing
Like
bins?
a diabetes bin at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
door, yeah.
You
So
can
they
get a
put it in,
temporary
put it
one,
Right in the
maybe.
bin,
Neat
have it
idea.
in for the day.
Yeah.
it's part of the whole reuse recycle.
Yeah, it's not on us, they're just filling the bin and you take it
I
away.
hope they take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the community that never knows about,
Community care,
yeah,
Yeah.
and food share. So,
Yeah.
You know, even for educational
Yeah.
purposes.
yeah. I like the food share. I'm not against, I think community care is great. I just don't know if they fit into the Earth Day
Yeah.
vibe.
I think they do, because so much of environmental sustainability is looking around you and your community and seeing who needs help and
Yeah.
how you can be there.
Not to mention the environmental impact of clothes manufacturing. So, I mean, it is a slight stretch, but it's.
Yeah. I don't think that clothing reuse is a stretch at all. I just think to the point, like, do we want to have people lugging in garbage bags and stuff into the actual event? I like the idea of having the bin. I have no opposition to having, well, Mary volunteers. for community care.
Yeah. I think you'd be better off to do the Diabetes Association where they deal with it, take it away. I mean, to overwhelm
Yeah,
the volunteers at community care.
yeah,
They often have to get rid of stuff because people,
Yeah.
giant garbage bags full of
yeah.
some sweater that maybe it's been overused for 75 years.
Well loved.
Well
Well
loved.
loved.
But
Wow.
in terms of whether or not community care, I mean, there's a couple things there. I mean, they offer rides for
Yeah.
people and things that help people live in their homes, so.
Maybe they just come for information and
Yeah.
don't reflect it. Just let people know that they exist and what they offer.
There's the library system and they do their book sale. Be kind of cool if they had a table of books for donation or something. Reuse books.
Like people to buy books on the day of.
Yeah, like we could just invite them to see if they
Yeah.
wanted to do that. Cause they'd be vetting the books. We wouldn't have to be just asking people to bring books and
Yeah.
then wonder what the heck is on
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah,
And then they could get some donations, make a bit of money.
okay, so we did say we would invite community care, and then I'm fine to invite the library, the part of the township anyways, and.
I
mean,
mentioned early on as well, like for
Yeah.
entertaining youth.
Yeah.
Maybe one.
The library, they partner with us with other functions and do
Yeah.
like story time and stuff like
Yeah.
that too.
Okay, I'm liking the way this is shaping up.
The story
could
time
do
even
like
is
a-
part of the kids thing.
Yeah, they could. do
Yeah,
the
the
Nature
kids-
themed story.
It's set up in
Time.
the studio, the kids can go in for story time.
Yeah.
Our
Cool.
recreation staff, they do awesome at every event we have, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
they,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, that's what I was hoping we'd be able to kind of, like your staff would be able to, because they're
Yeah.
kind of like the event,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So this is a really good list. I think we're gonna have a really, I'm just thinking we've got a lot of work to do, which is fine, got lots of time.
Sounds like an Earth Day meeting on its own, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, I think we'll definitely, have smaller we should start having smaller planning meetings. Just especially with our vendors, to make sure that they're clear on the objective. But one thing I think before we finish this Earth Day conversation is we should finalize a theme. Cause that's one thing that I think people will wanna know, like what's the theme?
Can it just be Earth Day?
Yeah, those things. Earth Day theme on its own.
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I feel like I don't know, I feel like there was, when I sent out emails to everybody, but maybe I just, was winging it. But, what's kind of coming to my mind is just like small, like small, I can't even really get the sentence out, but just like small changes, big impact.
Yeah, small actions, big impact.
Cause that's really what what the bulk of it is, right? Like you plant a pollinator path, you plant a tree, you have your rain barrel, you come and you learn about something. So I think a lot of people, when you first start talking about sustainability, it can feel overwhelming because I think they need to go retrofit their house or they need to buy an electric vehicle. Whereas I think what we're really trying to do is just say, if everybody just makes one small change, like if we plant 650 trees, that's a huge impact.
Right.
So,
That could be like a tagline or
yeah.
whatever, it doesn't, I don't know whether it's a theme as much as, kind of a concept that goes along with it.
So I'm just gonna write it down, small actions with impact.
Yeah.
I think it helps the vendors to kind of give them kind of an idea of like what they should talk about, like what they should focus on.
Not to go back to vendors or
Oh, yeah.
invitees again, but I feel there's probably an opportunity for some of First Nations to do with nature
Mhm.
related stuff there.
Yeah.
We want to just think about how we.
Well,
Well,
but
we could do
the
that.
Burr Oak program that, they're doing. Oh, what's the chief,
Chief Carr,
yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he come and speak?
she,
No, they're trying to think what, was it a historical society maybe? Ask him and talk about their Burr Oak program about rehabilitating and replanting Burr Oaks.
Well, if you. when
Yeah, I
you come
can,
up with it, let me know.
I can
Yeah,
find
or
out
reach
what was,
to us,
yeah.
I like that idea. Okay, so I think we've got a good start on Earth Day. We'll start reaching out to some vendors. And we've got it booked, we've got our date. I really like this idea of an Earth Day passport, and I think this is a really good segue into the last item on the list, which is communications. Which we'll have to loop in, I guess, Bridget for to do quite a few things that we need to dump on her, which is like a passport or
Slash order form.
order form, like our poster boards for Earth Day.
did this committee have its own social media presence, or was it just piggybacking on
No.
township? I
I
can't
think we
remember.
talked about it a few times during it, but never. Yeah, we're just piggybacking right now, I'm pretty sure.
I would like to have our own social media
I know we
presence,
talked about it with Bridge, I can't remember.
Yeah. but I think because we're not like separate, like we're not a board, like with the BIA and the library, or like we're,
You don't have that much autonomy.
yeah, like we're governed by the township's communication policy, which I know Bridget has very kindly reminded me.
This is all.
I would like to get, Karen Graham was really nice to include this is something Bridget reminded me about, but I wanted to put an article in the Millbrook Times about Earth Day, and it ended up being a press release, which was fine, but I would like to blow that up a little bit more, like expand it a bit more to have some more information about the vendors and activities and whatnot. So I think really the next step is just to like have a smaller meeting with Bridget to just brief her and get her input and see if she may have some ideas too of how we can accomplish some of these things. So for communications, for our communication campaign, I just wrote down Earth Day, individual programs, and then also water. So having a bit more communication about the water, I guess, I don't want to say policies, but just building a bit more on what the Conservation Authority does, that, and just kind of, I think, educating people a bit more, just based on like the drought we had, and then, we had the unfortunate water main break, but just, I think, educating people a little bit more on.
Breaks.
Smart water use kind of thing,
Yeah.
like not watering your lawn and we're in the
Yeah.
middle of
Yeah.
deep drought, that kind of sort of thing.
Yeah, but we had talked about
Try.
that at our year-end meeting, I
Yeah.
guess our last committee meeting in September is, you know, looking at options for, because we do have a
We do have a
bylaw.
bylaw, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, particularly when we're in the middle of summer, like. You
I
know,
shouldn't wash my driveway.
but, you know.
You definitely shouldn't.
But it's like, it's just trying to, because I think people think of water as a commodity, and it's not, right? Like it's a life-sustaining resource and it's not endless. So how can we encourage people to, like, just start conserving water more on a day-to-day basis, but then also can we put some firm guidelines around when people can water their lawns, and if the Conservation Authority issues a low water level warning, you know, like, we need to, I think, be more, more frequent and consistent with communicating that to people. I know last year, just because I was curious myself, like when we had the drought,
Mhm.
there was a notice issue too, like on the website and then on Facebook, but then there was nothing else. And which to me, I'm like, well, I still know it's a drought, so we haven't had rain, so
Almost like the chance of fire
yeah.
little meter thing that's
Yeah.
something for other
Yeah.
communities.
So just to, I think, be more frequent to say, like, we're still, like, still don't water your lawn, still don't, wash your car, like. Not to be, overly like controlling with people, but just to kind of do it in like a educational way, just so that people are, I think we can start getting people to understand, like, you know, you don't need to water your grass, but if you really do want to water your grass, do it at night or in the morning, and if.
I was gonna say, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there, but I don't know how much we need to push on that, because I was actually impressed walking around last summer at how many people had brown lawns.
Did
Right.
you come to my subdivision?
But then you'd see the one person with the green lawn, and it's almost like, what do you, like, it's almost like,
Yeah,
what do you do? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's almost,
That's
exactly.
right.
But it was, you know, when everybody's lawn's uniformly burnt out,
Mm,
nobody cares, right? But then you got the one green one and you're like, the heck?
Just get big
But no, I
arrow
did-
signs and point the arrow signs of that person's lawn.
Yeah.
We'll get the message.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be this guy.
Yeah.
Don't be like Bob. I'm just making it up. I don't know.
You know, part of it is a cultural shift in
Yeah.
accepting
Yeah.
the brown lawn and not,
Yeah.
you know, people. would-
Mhm.
Maybe we need a campaign with one of like Bridget's fancy slogans, like where, you know, she's like, stop the drip or.
No, that was terrible.
Dead laws are
Brown
okay.
skin or something, I don't know.
Yeah,
Brown skin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be good, I like that.
Or brown is the new green. I don't
Yeah.
know what we should do, so. I think.
There's a big, I don't know if you saw a big court case ruling that came out about yards, big property
Yeah.
standards.
About what?
Wilding of yards, so property
Yeah.
standards.
Was that
Yeah.
in Mississauga?
So it was a court case, but yeah, I forget, it was, I think Mississauga was affected. Brampton keeps coming out, 'cause
Yeah.
and Burlington, because a bunch of people redone their bylaws, so now I forget where it actually stemmed
Yeah.
from.
Mhm.
But basically, there's all these municipalities that have said you have to keep like dictating how high your
Oh.
grass needs to be and stuff. It's not that simple,
Yeah.
and they can't just say that, so if you're, as long as you're doing routine maintenance, you can let your
Yeah.
yard
Good.
wild, basically, so it was a big thing that's gonna
That's
impact all the
great.
property standards bylaws, yeah.
I lived right beside Little Portugal in Toronto, and like every yard was just tomato plants and
Yeah.
beans.
That's so cool.
There was no lawn at all.
Just
Yeah.
like every, like, green space and full of plants.
That's great.
Okay, so I think that's all I had, just kind of working off our work plan. Does anyone else have anything you'd like to raise?
Not to raise, but I think this is very exciting, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot to go on.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great event, and, I'm really appreciative of the work our committee is doing and the work that you guys are doing. I appreciate the support as a resident, just, I know it's really important to all of us, and, I think that the feedback we got last year supports that, and I'm excited to spend the next few months planning.
Subcommittee.
Yeah, subcommittee. So do we need to, Mark, like promote?
Don't involve Mark, it's complicated. Just have a subcommittee. Call some people and I think it happened.
Yeah, oh, what would you like to do, I think? The deputy mayor got me thinking about, what counts as an official meeting, there's a test by the ombudsman, let's not go down that thing, just ask me what you want to do.
Wondering, we just, like last year, we did it very informally. It was just really like myself, Kyle and Bridget.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming we probably gonna need a little bit more formality this year, just because we're making it a bit bigger.
So from a subcommittee area, you can have something more formal, but my main concern is open meeting stuff. Just don't have a majority of the committee members in a room discussing committee business is what I care most about. In terms of the process, I think if you want a motion to have like the committee give you the kind of have the committee support to follow up with staff on some of the particulars, we can do that, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
necessary from a process-based perspective, so I think we're good as,
Okay.
you can just plow ahead and follow up with staff.
That's what I'll do.
Told you. That was short. I just said,
I have to say, I know Mark.
no illegal meetings, that's all I care about.
That's hard for me. I'm just kidding.
No, I think you're not in trouble, that's like the comms policy.
Okay, so I think that's it then, if no one else has anything else.
Just one thing, Leslie, is please, if you need help doing things, like don't take this on as.
No,
You know,
no, I'm just kind of envisioning that I'll kind of be try to keep everything organized and then,
Quarterback.
Yes,
and then just like call the plays.
Good.
Nobody wants you to burn out.
That's right.
And then just
Yes.
loop people in as needed. But I am really looking forward to this, and I'm happy to spend the time to make it. Okay, so then we'll just look for a mover and a seconder. Oh, do I need a motion to update the board?
Yes,
plan? I'm
please.
sorry, Mark.
I was waiting for what the motion was to be.
Okay, I apologize. So, because we took a lot of notes, so can I just say something to the effect of, I'd like to have a motion to have the work plan reflect
Yeah.
discussions?
Yeah, for the committee to receive the updates to work plan
Okay.
discussed at the meeting.
Okay,
Why isn't a new work plan just coming after the new budgets?
Yes, where new work plan is gonna be updated with the new budget items, but also we'll put in the updates the committee has provided.
okay, so then, let's have the motion simply say that we will have the new work plan for 2026 reflect the updates discussed by the committee, and we'll include the new budget once approved by council.
Mhm.
And then can I move in seconder? Moved by Ryan, seconded by Amanda, all in favor? Good, great, and then can I get a mover and a seconder for our adjournment? Mary moved, thank you. Lisa seconded, all in favor? Great, and we're done.